What is going on, deck builders? Welcome back to another episode of Super Budget Commander. Today I've got a crazy deck in store for you featuring the coin flipping tag team of Zndrsplt and Okaun. This deck is all about chance and taking risks. If you're looking for a unique deck that will provide a new experience every time you play it, this is the deck for you. So without further ado, let's get started. Little Z and Big O, the ultimate tag team. The Eye of Wisdom is the brains of the operation. Anytime a player wins a coin flip, you draw a card. Big O, the Eye of Chaos, is the hired muscle. Anytime a player wins a coin flip, you double his power and toughness. As I'm sure you can imagine, there's going to be a lot of coin flipping going on at the table, so prepare yourself for a little chaos. And even though it isn't specifically stated in their text box, you can have both of these partnered up in your command zone. Just an FYI for those who might not know. We have a severe lack of green in our color scheme, so we have to rely on mana ramp artifacts to get us out of the gate quickly. We also have to take account for the fact that our commanders cost 5 mana apiece to get onto the battlefield for the first time, and if they die once or twice, it's going to be 7 or 9 mana to recast them. We want to set the tone early and have one of our commanders on the battlefield by turn 3 or 4. Mystic Remora and Monastery Siege are two of my favorite enchantments. Both of these can help us draw extra cards, which is always nice, but Monastery Siege has the added bonus of being able to help us shrug off targeted removal from our opponents. We've also got two of the best cantrip spells out there, Brainstorm and Ponder. Both of these make for great turn 1 plays, and if you happen to pull them later in the game, they're still awesome. Frantic Search is pure value. It's basically a free draw 2, discard 2 spell. We're also rocking deep dive cards like Manifold Insights and Dig Through Time. We have a lot of great cards in this deck, and if we're drawing one at a time hoping to find them, we're gonna have a hard time. Speaking of digging through our library in search of great cards, we have some wheel effects to help us out with that. Wheel effects are also great at disrupting our opponent's hands and ensuring that they can't just sit on cards to use against us. And don't forget about our super budget Sensei's Divining Top Crystal Ball. A little top deck manipulation was never a bad thing. We also have a nice built-in card draw engine in the form of Little Z, the Eye of Wisdom. With the help of some coin flip card draw spells and a little luck, you can draw a lot of cards using his ability. That's the way it goes with games of chance. Sometimes you hit the jackpot and you win big, and other times, well, you don't. Bounce spells are a very handy way to take out threats that we really don't feel like dealing with. They also make for nifty ways to deal with enchantments, which both blue and red struggle to remove. We've also got some creature annihilation in the form of Rapid Hybridization and Reality Shift. There aren't a lot of counterspells in this deck, but the ones we do have are highly effective. Obviously, counterspells are great for disrupting our opponent's plans, but they're also fantastic for protecting our own board state. And because our goals are to be chaotic, disruptive, and flip coins while we're doing it, Planar Chaos fits our strategy perfectly. I am aware that this card can hurt us pretty badly if our luck is terrible. However, when Chaos is the name of the game, there's bound to be some shenanigans. We also have some odd goblin friends that will either help us flip coins and remove threats or blow themselves up. Even a few of our mass removal spells come with a bit of a gamble attached. Will we remove all the threats? Won't we remove all the threats? The world may never know. Sometimes though, you need a surefire way to take out a lot of threats in a hurry. That's why we have Devastation Tide, Byforce, and of course, our good dragon friend, Still Hellkite. Flipping coins is great, but it's not going to win us games. We want to get the absolute most out of our coin flip spells, whether that's drawing a ton of cards or powering up Big O to unbelievable levels. Alongside the Eye of Wisdom, we want to focus heavily on spells like Mana Clash or Game of Chaos that can potentially enable us to win a lot of coin flips and draw a lot of cards. Even obscure cards like Fighting Chance give us the opportunity to turn the combat phase into a ton of extra cards in our hand. Honestly, creatures like Magi, Jinn, and Chaotic Goo are terrible, Their advantage in this particular strategy is they give us a consistent way to flip a coin every turn. Big O, the Eye of Chaos, is very different from his partner. The key with him is using coin flips to power him up to pull off as much damage as possible. Just to put it in perspective, if you win 3 coin flips on your turn, which isn't as difficult as you might think, this behemoth is going to be a 24-24, which happens to be lethal commander damage. This can become especially dangerous for your opponents when you pair it with cards like Fling or Chandra's Ignition. This is why it's really important to protect the Eye of Chaos. People are going to gun for him and try to take him out as soon as possible because they'll know just how dangerous he can be. You're only going to get one chance to take out an opponent or two with this big buffed up guy, so you need to have ways to make him unblockable and make sure that you're getting off as much damage as possible. Drawing cards and smashing face isn't all this chaotic coin flipping duo can do. They also have a pretty brutal combo up their sleeves. On their own, all 3 of these cards are incredibly annoying, but if you pair Teferi with either Possibility Storm or Knowledge Pool, it becomes a lockout combo where your opponents can no longer cast spells. Both Possibility Storm and Knowledge Pool work the same way with Teferi, so allow me to explain. Rule 116.1a is our guideline here. With Teferi, our opponents can only cast a spell anytime they could cast a sorcery. This means they can only do so during their main phase, when they have priority, and when the stack is empty. When our opponents go to cast a spell, any spell, it will go onto the stack and Possibility Storm will trigger. Possibility Storm and Knowledge Pool create a replacement effect, where your opponents don't get the spell that they cast from their hand, they get another spell that also goes onto the stack. Because of our fanciful rule in Teferi's broken ability, no spell is cast, because remember, sorcery speed spells can only be cast on an empty stack, and our stack has 2 spells on it. Even with the budget restriction, I managed to squeeze 2 tutor spells in here. Now admittedly, you're going to need a lot more tutor spells than this to pull off a combo of this magnitude with any sort of consistency, but I do like having at least a couple tutors, which is a lot better than the alternative, which is none. There are some really fantastic coin flip spells out there that unfortunately, due to massive spikes in price recently, I was unable to put in this deck. Krark's Thumb is a must-have for a strategy like this. I cannot stress just how powerful this card is in a coin flip deck. I'd also strongly recommend Mana Crypt, which is a fantastic mana rock with a coin flip built in. And there's extra turn spells like Stitch in Time or Ralzeric. Yeah, they're a little hard to pull off, but if you get them going, they're really good. There's also a really convenient built-in coin flip infinite combo with Frenetic Efreet and Chance Encounter. Get these 2 cards together, trigger the Efreet's ability 1,000,000 times, and congratulations, you won the game off coin flips. Next time on Super Budget Commander. Thank you guys so much for your support of this series and my channel. You're the best, and I mean that. And you know what's up. Stay classy, deck builders. I'll see you next time.